I suddenly realized I could hear the landlord's thoughts while I was taking a shower. My gentle and kind landlady. At this moment, outside the door, someone is wildly inhaling the clothes I just changed out of. I am an international student from Longuo, although I am the second most handsome in the world. But he is also a poor student. Every day is a struggle for food against wild dogs. It was on the way to compete with wild dogs for food. I looked at the apartment in front of me, with a monthly rent of only 2,500 yuan. In Tokyo, where every inch of land is precious, this price is almost unbelievable. Moreover, the landlord is beautiful and kind-hearted, highly praised. Seb, a big sister, stepped out. The older sister is sweet and lovely. Mature wind fish? Such a beautiful big sister. I quickly dismissed the bad thoughts in my mind. Is this Mrs. Yu? Reminded by me. Yugong finally emerged from his dazed state, quickly bowed shyly to apologize. Sorry, I was just lost in thought. You must be Mr. Qin who just moved in. You look much more handsome than in the photos. Thank you for the compliment. Mrs. Yu is much more beautiful than in the photos. The weather is so hot. Moving your luggage alone must be tiring, right? I'm here to help. Yugong approached with a bright smile to offer help. Roots grow beneath my feet. The silhouette of Inuo captivated me a bit. No way, no way. He is the blessed father. I quickly recited the tranquil heart incantation in my heart. Yu Bong and Zhang Zhai are carrying their suitcases. Walk slowly up the stairs. Why hasn't Mr. Qin called me? I can also drive to pick you up. I took out my phone, said with a wry smile. The power went out and the device shut down. I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. It would be very troublesome if the phone runs out of battery. I recently got a smart power bank. Just leave it at my house. If you don't mind, I'll give it to you. Come over and sit at my place for a while. I can also tell you about the apartment guidelines. An older sister's kind invitation, I find it hard to refuse. Then I will trouble Mrs. Yugong. Can you really stand up to him? What if he scares you to death? I tilted my head, unable to hold back a sound. What was that sound just now? It sounds exactly like Madame Yu's voice. Mr. Qin, did something strange happen? Rain God knows when to turn around. Only a kind and warm smile on the face. It's nothing. I admire the graceful and elegant Yugong. Such an elegant, noble woman. It's impossible to say such strange things in broad daylight. I fear I'm not just imagining the evil. Wait a moment, we need to have a good meal. As I climbed the stairs step by step, once again an excited and delightful voice echoed in my ears. I stood frozen in place, staring in disbelief at the big sister in front of me. I definitely didn't mishear that sound. Yu Gong smiled faintly upon knowing. Extend your delicate jade hand. I carefully observed her fragrant lips. The sound she heard was completely inconsistent with the movement of her lips. Could it be that I heard her innermost thoughts? She noticed me staring at her lips. Yugong stepped forward and asked in confusion. I was startled by this action, nearly fell down, finally managed to steady myself. The scent of perfume in the air instantly fills one's heart with desire. It's nothing. It's just that you helped me move my luggage. I really feel bad bothering you again. I have a feeling. Once inside her house, then we won't be able to get out. I noticed that I was a bit wary. The rain god knows, with beautiful eyes half closed, gained a deeper meaning. How could that be? The Qin army is so handsome. I can help you. I can't be happy just yet. Yugong, you are simply a madman. Such a lovely boy. How can you bear to hurt? I clenched my teeth tightly. My scalp tingled with fear from these words. Nay, whose good person carries a knife with them? And now I am certain. This is the heartfelt voice of the Rain Lord's understanding. If now the 5 reverse rain public knows, maybe they'll really get killed. I can only temporarily comply with her, find a good opportunity and slip away directly. Since Mrs. Yu is so hospitable, then I shall not stand on ceremony. I forced a smile on my stiff face. That's great. I'll go prepare right away. Mr. Qin, please follow me. Rain Gong recognized and lifted the heavy suitcase, happily climbed to the second floor and opened the door. No way. That suitcase weighs at least 20 kilograms. She actually lifted it above her head with one hand. And it's so easy. The last trace of my rebellious thoughts vanished. Obediently going upstairs, under the gaze of the rain god, walking into the dim room. A good person is beautiful and kind-hearted. Why did no one tell me this is a yandir? Following Yu Gongsha, I stepped slowly into the spacious living room. Cool air continually flows out from the air conditioner. The cool sensation swept away all the fatigue. Yu Gongsha sees me enjoying myself like this. Diamond smiled faintly. Qin Jun, please sit down and take a rest for a while. Do you want some juice? There is also wine. This woman is very ordinary. Staying even one more second feels so dangerous. I sat down on the sofa. If worse comes to worst, I'll just work a job. I just don't believe that internet cafes can't afford to sleep. Qin Jun, what are you thinking about? Yu Gongsha laughed as the night bloomed like flowers beside me. The enchanting fragrance wafted into the nostrils. I suddenly felt parched, listening to the heartfelt voice of the rain. My heart is filled with intense thoughts of clarity. I want to become a righteous person. So we must critically examine and harshly critique. This is your power bank. There's still the room key. There are 2 in total. Don't lose it, okay? The perfect beauty of Rain Master Sha. It is still gentle and warm in the inner regions. But why does the voice of the heart remain so steady? Thank you. You're welcome. Make sure to use it well. I tightly grasp the key in my hand. A sense of fear gradually wells up. We have to leave here. Mrs. Rain. I stood up, seriously gazing at Yu Gongsha. If I want to move out of this apartment right now, is there a price to pay? Yu Gongsha was momentarily stunned. The gentle smile on the face has frozen. Are you leaving? Let me help you with the paperwork now. Yu Gongsha trembled as he stood up. Tears welled up in my eyes. Useless. No matter how pitiful you pretend to be, I won't sympathize with you either. I secretly vowed. Rain Gongsha walked softly toward the kitchen. A sense of foreboding sent a chill down my spine. I suddenly felt my legs go weak. No way, no way. If we keep going like this, you will definitely be killed. First, let's compromise for now. Let's find a chance to sneak away tonight. Mrs. Rain, I was just joking. I don't plan to move away. I quickly called to stop. As soon as the words fell, a delicate pear blossom-like face glistening with dew turned towards me. Yu Gongsha turned around and pounced directly at him. Incredible speed. Tackle me directly to the ground. The Qin army has gone too far. How can you make such an outrageous joke? I thought I had done something wrong. I made you angry. I will definitely not disturb your normal life. Please don't leave me, okay? I didn't expect that either. Her reaction would be so intense. Gazing at that pitifully delicate face, a wave of deep guilt surged within. I find it hard to accept, but the fire of rebirth burns ever brighter. Mrs. Rain, you're a bit heavy. Can you lift it up? Yu Gong Sha felt embarrassed upon hearing those words, immediately got up. I lowered my head shyly and took a deep breath. Directly call it very natural. I was so scared I almost shrank into the corner. Mrs. Yu has a great figure. I was just too tired earlier. It was just a momentary illusion. Here in this, Yu Gong Sha did not feel such a heavy burden. Instead, it just feels like a kind-hearted lie. The persistent whispers in my heart were driving me nearly insane. In desperation, I strode forward and directly picked up Yu Gongsha. Mrs. Yu is not heavy at all. Instead, it feels very cold, I said, displaying a charming and bright smile that everyone loves. This trick is sure to make the girl quiet. Mrs. Rain, I'll go tidy up the room first. Goodbye. Realizing that something bad is about to happen, I threw her onto the sofa. Shouldering the backpack, I stepped out alone. I take a deep breath. The scorching air fill the lungs. A sense of despair rises. After stepping forward with firm resolve, it was like walking on stilts. The soles made a soft hissing sound. Five-star reviewer General Mike expressed excitedly, "Air conditioning is the greatest invention in the world. If there were a certain sports event in the summer, not even the air conditioning is set up." That was truly a scheme for profit and murder. I immediately turned and pushed the door open. My password is blocked. The air conditioner in my room is broken. Please let me lean on Yun Dan. I have not yet received permission. He strides into the living room, taking a deep breath of the cool air from the air conditioner in the distance. No air conditioning. Don't say it lasts all night. I can't stay here for even a second. I can't live without air conditioning, just like the three regions cannot be without a place. Kin Army, you sweated a lot. Would you like something to drink? Yu Gong Sha is lying comfortably on the sofa, face like a peach blossom. Her eyes sparkled like silk. I turned my head away, recited the clear heart mantra in my mind. Sorry, I can't assist with that. I want to drink milk. Yu Gong Sha got up and walked towards the refrigerator. Hand me a bottle of milk. Down the icy cold milk in one gulp. Just felt a wave of refreshing comfort. The summer heat has vanished completely. The Kin Army must be exhausted. Sit down, let me massage your shoulders. The smile of Yu Gong Sha is radiant. Push me onto the sofa. Gently began to knead. I initially refused. It's just so comfortable. Half pushed, half yielding, he complied with her. Suddenly, yellow card foul by Yu Gong Sha. Directly charge at the person with the ball. What are you doing, ma'am? I was momentarily startled, just as I was about to get up and leave. The terrifying power of rain god sand forcefully pinned me down in place. Kin Jun, you're so tired. Massaging just the shoulders is definitely not enough. So I think something is wrong. I immediately stood up, forcibly creating distance. I think you must be hungry. Let's eat first. As soon as the words were spoken, my stomach suddenly made a sound. It's so awkward that I could pull out a cherry blossom fruit. The hungry person is you, Kinjan. Yu Gongsha reminisced about the feeling from earlier. Zio Yi stood up like a flower in the night. Men and women should maintain a respectful distance. Moreover, you are a married woman. That's fine. Let's each take a step back and maintain at least a meter of distance. Absolutely must not cross the line. I am not too simple. The gun can't be suppressed for too long. Moreover, they are a Yandir. All right then. I will go cook. How can this be done? I can't trouble you any further. I quickly blocked her path. To make a Yandir cook for themselves with a kitchen knife. That's so scary. Actually, I really enjoy cooking. In the past, whether it was the school's bento box, still the family dinner, I prepare everything myself. The family also likes it very much. I hope Mrs. Yu can have a taste too. It's also a way to repay your care for me. I feel a chill behind me, not daring to be careless in the slightest. Yu Gongsha thought for a moment, smiling cheerfully. I am also looking forward to what kind of dishes the Qin army will prepare. Then you keep it up. I'll go take a shower first. A hint of excitement showed on my face. I just feel this is a great chance to escape. The next moment I gave up again. In this society where money is needed everywhere, without a penny I can't go anywhere. The heart's voice of Yu Gong Sha continues. The shameful words sent chills down my spine. I can't help but complain. The soundproofing in the apartment is quite poor. The sound of water flowing down comes through the bathroom, echoing in my ears, but the voice of the heart has disappeared. It's too far away, or perhaps it was because there was a room in between. An inexplicable curiosity drove me toward the bathroom. I returned to the kitchen with a flushed face to continue cooking, take out various fresh ingredients from the refrigerator. Dishes are prepared one after another. Once everything was ready, it feels like there's a warm stove behind me, warm and cozy, hearing a familiar heartbeat. I count down with my hair, quickly turned around to look. Turning around, I only noticed the floor from the bathroom to the kitchen. There is obviously a puddle. I took a deep breath. Pretend to know nothing. Carrying the dishes, I walked towards the living room. But along the way, you can always hear the sound of water droplets hitting the ground. Listen clearly. It's over, it's over. We need to hurry back. The conversation ended. A moment later, a graceful figure hurried into the bathroom. Her agile movements resembled a master of likeness skill from a martial arts drama. It took quite a while. Yugong Shashai walked out of the bathroom with a face full of sorrow. Neda, give it a try and see if it suits your taste. I pointed to the sumptuous Chinese dishes on the table. I have quite a bit of confidence in my sense of taste. Yubong Shashai pouted her little lips. Ignoring the 1 meter agreement, she picked up a piece of beef. Zioku was nibbling. The sorrow in her beautiful eyes transformed into surprise. Extremely delicious. The two are dining quietly. Yugong Shashai ate 1 bite of vegetables and 1 bite of rice, seeing the satisfaction on her face that she revealed unintentionally. I can't help but feel proud in my heart. I noticed a grain of rice stuck to the corner of her mouth, unconsciously reaching up to pluck it off. Qi Yu and Gong Shashai's eyes sparkled. With her red lips tilted, she bit directly into the mirror. Bring your fingers along with the rice grains. Madam, be quiet, don't speak. Yu Gong Shashai domineeringly grabbed my hand, gently moving with fingers held. After a few minutes, the air was tense. I just pulled my hand back. The awkward atmosphere made me feel hesitant. Didn't we agree to stay 1 meter apart? How to reunite after parting? The taste is really good. The beauty gradually approaches. I cough twice. Get up and speak. Madam, if you don't eat soon, the dishes have gone cold. I have always thought of you as a virtuous and frugal person. I hope we won't waste any food. A moral kidnapping. The effect is clearly outstanding. Yugong Shashai obediently lowered her head to eat. A Greek team from beyond. The two of them quietly finished their meal without any disturbances. I tidied up a bit, entering the kitchen with a plate and bowl. Yugong Shashai gazed at me with eyes like silk. With a hand supporting her fragrant cheek, she was lost in thought. Ken Army, I'll be back soon after I step out. Hearing that Yugong Shashai is going out. And we also need to buy strange props. My heart skipped a beat. Madam, it's like being in a steamer on this hot day. Going out for a stroll shouldn't turn me into a dark-skinned person. It's still more comfortable to stay at home. Right? I put down the fire in my hands, wiped his hands, and hurried over, at least before moving into the university dormitory for the new semester. I don't want this Yandir lady to touch any dangerous items. There is air conditioning in the mall, and I drove there. It won't take much time either. Yugong Shazi was not worried about the weather. Wasting money is indeed not good, but I really need it. If you have some spare money, let's find someone to quickly fix the air conditioner in my room. Yugong Shatai sighed repeatedly. Ultimately, I was firmly persuaded by my silver tongue. Call the repairman obediently. A sudden joy fills my heart. Who wouldn't love such a obedient and clever lady? No, no, this is a Yandir. Caution leads to lasting success. I shook my head, waking up from the joy. Watching Yugong Shatai with vigilance. They will probably come to fix it tomorrow. Can I go out now? Yugong Shatai put away her phone, slowly walked towards the bedroom, getting ready to change clothes before heading out. I felt my face flush. I don't know why I feel a sense of anticipation in my heart. When Yugong Shatai finished putting on her clothes, half an hour has passed without us realizing it. The door was slowly pushed open. I curiously looked back. Couldn't help but show a surprised expression. Yugong Shatai wore a luxurious long dress in deep purple. Light golden satin embellishments. The fabric is visibly high-end. Yugong Shatai lowered her head, extremely shy. Lun, is it good looking? Good looking. I was suddenly interrupted while critiquing carefully. The volume couldn't help but increase a bit. Yugong Shatai wore A, clearly not very satisfied with this outfit. At this moment, I noticed the black silk, revealed a hint of fair skin. Madam, these stockings are torn. Yugong Shatai showed a troubled expression. She suddenly had a burst of inspiration, sitting on the sofa with a beaming smile. Kinarmi, do me a favor. Take off the stockings. I was stunned for a moment. This is definitely a reward. He slowly squatted down in front of Yugong Shatai. I silently recite the pure heart mantra in my heart, gradually pulling out the stockings. Breathing became heavier as both stockings were removed. Yugong Shatai smiles silently. I am full of black lines. How much does this woman want to be pushed down? Mingaming has a personality like a little girl. Madam's legs are really slender. I don't know if your body fat percentage is 5%. Body fat percentage 5%. Are there really people like this? Have you heard of Taijai LV Yugong Shatai? But I don't quite understand. It seems that ordinary people only have about 10%. 5% is truly hard to imagine. Give a simple example. Going up the mountain will leave a sound. An example that is vivid yet lacking in vitality. Yugong Shatai couldn't help but smile wryly. Since that's the case, she took out a new pair of stockings. The sound of heavenly music echoed. So, please help me put this on. I looked up in surprise at Yugong Shatai. Yugong Shatai Li Nanzang San, showing an expression of certainty. To thank you for helping me take off my socks. So as a reward, you help me put on my socks. Is it not possible? Reward, I certainly don't have that kind of taste. Really? I couldn't help but turn my head away. I am not a pervert. Yugong Shatai has slightly thick eyebrows. Take out a 10,000 yuan bill from the wallet, gently swaying in front of me. That's such a pity. Goodbye. I am a pervert. I opened the packaging of the stockings without hesitation. Hesitating for even a second is a disrespect to money. Yes, it's money. Don't think too much into it. Yugong Shashai forced herself to remain calm. Her trembling body revealed her panic completely. I couldn't help but swallow my saliva. Let's just push it down like this. Moreover, the lady is very wealthy. It's all about having too strong a desire for control. As long as you obediently comply, you can live a decadent and happy life of luxury. I quickly shook my head. Cast the stupid thoughts out of your mind. Two fingers stretch open the sock opening. Gently put the socks on her feet. Just a glance. My heart raced wildly. As a passionate young man, it is truly hard to endure. Yugong Shashai also became shy, stealing glances at me. Stretch out the other foot. Ken Army. There is still one foot. Facing the temptation of evil forces, I really can't take it anymore. Quickly fled the boudoir. I walked into the bathroom, rinsing my burning face. In the desolate valley, the cold wind howls. Spring and autumn, the tender youth returns. The despicable Mrs. Sakura. Sooner or later, I will make you unable to withstand much poison. I lifted my head, gasping for breath. Water droplets trickle down from the fever. The emotions remain unsettled for a long time. Madame Yubu is truly craving to eat herself. No laughing matter. But what does that matter? It's just a bit of wind and frost. Hearing Yugong Shashai is going to take a knife. I had a clever idea. Quickly walked out of the bathroom. Yugong Shashadu hurried over with tears in her eyes. I'm sorry. I went too far just now. Kin Armik, please don't hate me. How could I ever hate you, madam? Instead, it ended up ruining your clothes. That dress must be expensive, right? Not expensive, not expensive. It's getting late. Let's prepare dinner. I know the lady is wealthy. I didn't expect it to be so extravagant. Suddenly, I felt a little flutter in my heart. Being unable to come up with even 10,000 yuan. I can't even imagine this amount of money, let alone spending so much just to buy a piece of clothing. Looking up and down at Yuyong Shashai. She had already changed into a comfortable and loose set of homeware, a white t-shirt paired with black pants. Madam, that 10,000 yuan. Yugong Shashai's two eyes squinted with a smile. But you didn't put everything on me. Yugong Shashai let out a cold snort. It's like playing a game. The task is only half completed. How could I possibly reward you? I wore a bitter expression. Just have to give up. Compared to 5,000 yuan. She cherishes this little life even more. Seeing that I am a bit upset, Yugong Shashai pouted and said softly, however, if the Qin army is willing to prepare a lavish dinner, it's not impossible to make amends. The lady is truly beautiful and kind-hearted. I'm going to cook soon. As the words fell, I quickly walked towards the kitchen. Yugong Shashai slowly caught up. The two of them arrived in the kitchen. Take out the ingredients and get ready to show off your skills. Yugong Shashai skillfully picked up the kitchen knife. Start chopping vegetables. Watching the skilled knife work, my hand trembles slightly. Madam, just leave it to me. Now you are my boss. Where is their boss who works? I swiftly snatched the kitchen knife away. Only then did the heart that was hanging finally let go. Yugong Shashai pouted in dissatisfaction. The adorable appearance makes one's heart flutter. I don't mind at all. I'll add some difficulty for you. What does it mean? Yugong Shashai directly hugged the money. Do not resist. This is the previous rule. Wait a moment. I am cooking. Madam, please stop. Once the two finished their lavish dinner. It's almost 7:30 in the evening. I took the initiative to help wash the dishes on the table. just as I relaxed after setting all the plates in place. Yugong Shatai leaned in. I gritted my teeth and stood firm. Having undergone 9 years of compulsory education, I demonstrating incredible willpower. Let's take this challenge head on. Which official can withstand such a test? Madam, I'll just sleep on the sofa tonight. Yugong Shatai's beautiful eyes sparkled. How can this be? The air conditioner in your room is malfunctioning. It's my fault as the administrator. This will do. Why don't you sleep in my room? I was astonished. Open your eyes wide. Is it inappropriate for men and women to sleep in the same room? I'm not asking you to sleep in the same bed as me. Yugong Shatai pinched my cheek. There was always a hint of teasing in the words. The shy whispers echo in my ears. It made my eyes pop out. The first time. Of course. I won't let you sleep on the floor either. Come with me. Seeing my face full of worry, Yugong Shatai quickly began to explain. Indicate for me to follow. The two walked into a storage room. Inside, there happened to be a spring bed. Just hug the bedding and you can sleep. A little small, but one bowl will do. And there is air conditioning too. Yugong Shatai carries a hint of jealousy. Then it's up to you. She moved the clutter from the bed to the living room. Start tidying up the room. So the Kin Army has graduated from high school now, right? Which university are you planning to attend? I barely squeezed into Tokyo University. Is it Dondet? Really impressive. Yugong Shatai witnesses Zainchun firsthand. A bit shocked. I didn't expect the young man in front of me to be a top student. Giant Yugong Shajai's face showed a hint of displeasure. I couldn't help but feel confused, though a bit curious. But this was clearly not a good response for Madame Yugu. And it's still a newcomer. It's not appropriate to pursue questions. While Yugong Shatai was cleaning the room, I'm just idling around. He lay on the sofa browsing through accessories. The sound of footsteps beneath Yu and Shatai was gentle and rhythmic. The room is almost cleaned up. Come and see me. I just came across a beautiful accessory. A cold and distant new life entered my mind. I had a cold war. Quickly put away the phone. Madam, are you ready? I quickly got up and walked briskly towards Yuyong Shatai. It's almost done. I'll just wipe the bed a bit more. If you can't wait, then please. You can go take a shower first or something. Yugong Shajai's voice became noticeably darker. It's clear how terrible her mood is at this moment. We can't anger her anymore now. At that time, it will really turn into a eunuch. I'll go take a shower first. I took out a change of clothes from the suitcase. Rushed straight into the bathroom. The bathroom door is locked tight. Only then did they breathe a sigh of relief, feeling a bit of safety. Looking at beautiful accessories makes one want to kill. This woman is terrifying. The water flows smoothly over the solid back. A little bit itchy. I couldn't help but gently touch the 3-inch-long scar on my back. After drying off, she put on her pajamas and quietly walked into the storage room. I locked the door. He laid down happily and started polishing his accessories. After a long while, there was a knock at the door. The voice of Yugong Shajai followed. King Jun, open the door. I have something to tell you. I don't want to have much contact with this woman. Choose to pretend to sleep. The knocking on the door grew louder. Makes it hard to settle down. At that moment, a loud bang echoed. I was so scared that I got up and connected to the internet. Suddenly, a hole appeared in the wooden door. Emerging from the hole was a delicate, frost-like white hand. The jade hand finds its position. After unlocking, he shrank back. The door slowly opened. Yugong Shetai walked in calmly. The cold eyes were filled with various negative emotions. I was so scared I almost itched. Stammered, "The lady is very beautiful. Madam, you are a married woman." Yugong Shatai tightly held the pink ring as she walked slowly forward. Her watery eyes hinted at hidden feelings. Men and women should maintain proper boundaries. "Madam, please don't test me any more." I looked up and down at Yugong Shatai for a moment. Unavoidably, my cheeks flushed and my heart wavered. Anyway, this is my home. It's my room. I love to sleep wherever I want. That bed is for you. I'll sleep on the sofa. I got out of bed, ready to leave. Yugong Shajai's delicate hand suddenly grabbed the corner of my clothing. I helplessly turned back to look. I was just about to share some profound truths. Only the soft cheeks were seen. 2 lines of blue tears flowed down. I couldn't bear to refuse when I saw her. After thinking for a while, I sat on the bed. "Who made me pick someone up right now? Let's sleep together, but absolutely cannot cross the line. Are you really willing?" Yugong Shatai was dumbfounded. "Let me clarify first. Although on the same bed, but each of us has a blanket. Do not sneak into someone else's bed. So what's the difference between this and sleeping in separate beds? If you don't want to, then never mind." I said indifferently. Yugong Shashai secretly steeled herself. Nodding, he went back to the room and brought over the bedding. "It's getting late. You should get some rest." I forced myself to sit calmly while lying on my side. Time passes second by second. Despite being utterly exhausted, yet the eyes can never seem to close peacefully. I numb my arm from sleeping on it. Pull it out from the back of your head. The beauty behind me continuously whispers. It is also the reason why I can't sleep. Yugong Shatai cautiously asked softly, "Kin Jun, are you asleep?" "Not yet." I feel the same way. Just thinking about the air conditioner being fixed tomorrow. It's impossible to coexist with the Kin army. I was so sad that I couldn't sleep. After all, that house was rented with my money. Isn't it a waste not to stay? Lying on the bed, occasionally you can hear the honking of vehicles outside, but they can't hear anything inside the apartment. Any movements from other tenants. I furrowed my brows slightly. I felt a mouse scurrying around. The rent is so cheap. There should be many tenants. The doors of other tenants, especially room 203. Yugong Shatai's voice rang out like silver bells, unexpectedly tinged with a hint of color. Mrs. Yugu disliked tenant 203 very much. Slightly furrowed brows. While thinking, suddenly a mouse jumped out and burrowed into my back nest. "Madam, this mouse. Didn't we agree not to cross the line?" Perhaps this mouse accidentally slid down. Seeing this, Yugong Shatai became bolder, hugged me directly from behind. "Madam, don't go too far." I couldn't help but look back and think about when. Yugong Shatai smiled like a blooming flower. "Show a delicate and beautiful face." Just watching. I felt my heart race and stepped back repeatedly. Accidentally, I bumped into it and fell heavily to the ground. "Kin John, are you okay?" Yugong Shashai looked very worried. Quickly got up and asked. "It's nothing." I rubbed my head. "This is good now. I can't sleep any longer." I just looked up. A pair of well-maintained jade-like feet. Cherry blossom jade tenderness, like exquisite jade artifacts. If this goes on, even when dawn breaks, I won't be able to sleep. I might as well sleep on the sofa in the living room. Pick up the bedding. I will leave. Stay away from this little sprite. I'm sorry. Kin Jun, it's because of me that you can't sleep, right? I don't blame you. Looking at that exquisite face, A hint of self-reproach appeared. I did not scold, turning to leave. Wait a moment. Yugong Shajai's face looked narrow, quickly grabbed. Suddenly, he pushed me against the wall without warning. Since it's my fault that Kin Jun can't sleep, then I should provide compensation. Compensation. What do you want to do? Let me teach you a martial arts technique. The legendary Oi-18 waters. All right, let's stop here. If you want to see the encrypted techniques, figure it out yourself. At 2 o'clock in the early morning, when the mockery began, I just got out of bed. The reason is simple. Just because I couldn't sleep at all the whole night. I sighed quietly, then went to the kitchen to prepare breakfast. At this moment, all I can do is work hard to find something to do. Only then can I relieve the depression in my heart. Unlike just eating and sleeping, it involves killing and slaughtering. My heart is filled with countless sorrows. He stepped outside and lit a cigarette to ease his emotions. The early morning in Tokyo is still quite cool. The gentle breeze brings a sense of comfort. As a puff of smoke is exhaled, mud spread all around. My mood has improved quite a bit. Anyway, I'll be able to say goodbye to her tonight. I can sleep beautifully for a while. The girl had a pair of enchanting phoenix eyes, high-bridged nose. Her figure appeared slightly slender. The white school uniform radiates youthful energy. But your delicate appearance makes people want to protect you even more. Kawaii, seeing the youthful and cute appearance of the girl, I couldn't help but quietly admire. After a careful examination, he took out the key, ready to unlock the door to confront Gong Shajai. Don't be nervous. I am also a tenant here. My name is Qin Yuan. How about you? I couldn't help but smile wryly. I am the second most handsome person in the world. Legislation slightly less impressive than the audience. Can someone be a bad person? The young girl wore a slight frown, staring at me with half belief, half doubt. Is a tenant of the apartment, but has the key to the apartment manager's room. It's normal for her to have suspicions. I am just an ordinary friend of Mrs. Gong. The air conditioner in my room is broken. Madam, kindly let me stay for a while. I am going through the motions. Do not treat me unfairly when confronting the public. To be honest, it inevitably affects reputation. A married woman hides a strange man in her home. If the gossip-loving aunt finds out, in one afternoon, it can spread throughout the entire neighborhood. Are you Mr. Gong's sister or something? Cast away the confusion in your heart. The lady's husband seems to be working away from home all year round. It's perfectly normal for a sister-in-law to take care of her sister-in-law. This title is rather presumptuous. Yu Gong Ali openly expressed her dissatisfaction. Thinking carefully, just as she said, with Gong Ali, I took out a key, opened the room where the public execution took place. He took off his shoes and naturally lay down on the sofa. Yugong classmate has not yet graduated from high school. I curiously examined this lovely girl. The light swept across an airport. Can't help but sigh. How can there be such a big gap between biological sisters? Gong Ali revealed her long neck. Jen Shubi turned to one side. Sorry, sorry. Since we are already in the third year of high school. To the airport road. I sit down calmly. Jia Yao displayed a satisfied expression, with Gong Ali wanting to give birth to a face, holding the constantly rumbling belly tumor. She was already hungry, and someone was eating so deliciously right in front of her. How can this be tolerated? Seeing the awkwardness with Princess Ali, I kindly said, breakfast is prepared a bit too much. Are you willing to help me solve some? With Princess Ali, her face was full of stubbornness. Blushing deeply, Gong Ali held up a bowl of rice porridge with a big belly. Seeing her eat happily, I joked, "Aren't you going to eat even a single bite?" Ali shyly said to Gong, looking at the joke of the junior, who is straight and cheerful. I snatched the rice porridge back without hesitation, then just criticized me harshly. "Don't eat any more. It won't do. Let me squat down and eat," holding the pink circle tightly with Gong Ali. The cute appearance in front of me is like a little chick, lacking any deterrent effect, awakened by the noise of the two people. With Gong Shashai I gently rub the soft, hazy gap, take a closer look, unable to help but feel confused, complaining to Princess Ailey. Gong Shashai was stunned, looking at my disheveled appearance. Hastily went back to the house to change clothes. Reappeared in the sight of the two. She is wearing a simple set of loungewear, wearing a loose-fitting white long-sleeve round-neck T-shirt, a pair of loose white pants on the lower body. A slender light yellow sash was tied around the waist. The devil's slender waist was also depicted. Ellie, I've said it many times. Don't enter my room without permission. Do I have no money to eat? Gong Ali pouted and acted cute. The lovely appearance evokes affection. Take it. You are not allowed to come in any more. Otherwise, I won't give you the key. Yugong Shashai generously pulled out a 10,000 yuan bill. Signal her to leave quickly. Thank you, sister. However, that guy openly bullied your dear sister. Aren't you going to be moved at all? AI Lai collected the money into her pocket. He looked at me with a sense of triumph, thinking of relying on my sister's favor. We'll definitely teach that pervert a lesson. Giant and Gong Shashai's murderous intent was palpable. I inhaled sharply. This woman goes crazy and doesn't even care about her sister. It seems like I came at the wrong time today. Let's leave first. With Gong Alishan smiling, they left. After many years together, how could she not understand this sister's temperament? If it were in the 9 streams, I'm afraid I'll be torn apart by 5 horses. I carefully examined the two people. These two sisters have very different personalities. No one dares to let their guard down when gathered together. For my innocence, we can't let Gong Ali leave just like that. Ali, it's so hot outside. Everyone gathers together, it's lively. Why not stay and have dinner together? I blocked the way of Princess Ailey. A smiling invitation. No need. With money, naturally, one should enjoy life a little. Staying behind is quite boring. You see through my little thoughts at a glance. Without hesitation, she politely declined Gong Ali. As the words fell, she took a step forward, be pulled up by Gong Shashidin's hand. This is also a good intention from the Qin army. We must not let it down. Sister, you have gone too far. You and Gong Ai tried to struggle. It is utterly powerless in the face of absolute strength. I couldn't help but chuckle. Did you hear that? I can't let my good intentions go to waste. Speaking, I sat back down in the chair. Are you starving? I feed you. Scoop up a spoonful of plain porridge, sent into Princess Ailey's mouth, looking at the girl in front of me, like a little elementary school student, enjoying the meal with great delight. I also had a great time playing, only with Gong Shashai. With furrowed brows, he tightly gripped the powder circle, hearing the heartfelt voice of Gong Shashai. I was also a bit dumbfounded, could not help but admire secretly. Are you done eating? Finish eating quickly and go study. Aren't you going to take the entrance exam for Tokyo University? With your current grades, that is a delusion. With Gong Shashai burning in the fire, he stepped forward and snatched the bowl away. Madam Bong, is Ailey's performance really poor? I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. Ailey's face immediately turned red as well, like a ripe apple taro. Let someone have a taste. Army, we both share the surname Yu. Aren't you supposed to call my name too? Yu-Gi-Oh! Sheshai pouted. The way she acts cute is irresistible. I'm helpless. I can only probe cautiously. Sheshai. As soon as the words fell, Gong Sheshai nodded in satisfaction repeatedly. With Gong Ailey, the two exchanged a glance. I don't understand what's so exciting about a title. I am full. I went back to study. Seeing this, I took the initiative to ask my leader, "Then let me teach you. After all, it hasn't been long since I finished my exam. Compared to my sister, this younger sister has a bit of a bad temper, but it is much safer." Really, with Princess Ailey, I felt quite taken. There was an excellent top student tutoring, much more efficient than expensive training classes. Stealthily observing Gong Shashai's reaction, her body was tense, clenching both hands into fists. With a helpless tone, she politely declined Gong Ailey. "Forget it. I can just rely on my own efforts. I won't charge you anything. Are you sure you don't want it?" Yu Gong Shashai sighed secretly. Suddenly, a smile of relief appeared. I lie. Just accept the kindness of the Qin army. I couldn't help but compare in my heart. Couldn't help but nod. I knew my sister was the best to me. Gained permission. You and Ai Lai suddenly became excited. "Let her speak." He urgently pulled me away. Watching the two leave from behind, the one left behind slowly stood up. A cold light flickered in the phoenix eyes. Whispers in the dark. "You hurry up. Move it." Ailey held Qin Yuan's hand. Hastily urged, "Don't rush." Not missing a single second. Qin Yuan shrugged. The two hurriedly entered the room. As soon as I entered the room, a faint fragrance belonging to a young girl wafted towards me. Take a closer look. The entire house is about the size of Gong Shashai's bedroom, only a little over 10 square meters. But squeeze into the bedroom, bathroom, and the kitchen. The bedroom has only a single bed. It's just a big wardrobe and two bedside tables. There isn't even a television. The ground is covered with textbooks and study materials. However, it's just a little return. The arrangement and decoration are quite exquisite. Pink wallpaper, chamois floor, neatly on the single bed, covered with a white quilt. On the bedside table is a photo of me and Gong Shashai. The two stood together. Hard to believe they are sisters. In the photo with Princess Ailey, wearing middle school uniform, youthful and radiant, lively and beautiful. A head of thick, glossy black hair flowed down. Big watery eyes, bright and piercing. King Yuan walked cautiously, books scattered all over the ground, leaving her almost no foothold. She stacked the books one by one. In a short while, piled up into a small hill, the gaze swept away. I found a hook above an outlet. What is hooked is a knotted shoelace. "Aren't you going to tidy up a bit?" Saying that, just about to reach down to untie the shoelace. "Don't touch anything carelessly. Everything in my room, everything has its own meaning of existence." Yuan Gong and Ai Lai quickly stopped. Hue Luo took out her phone and charger. The outlet becomes loose after plugging in this charger. It simply can't be charged. At this moment, the shoelaces came into play. Secure the charger firmly. The romance left them speechless. She thought she was already in a lot of trouble. I didn't expect it to be harder living with Gong Ailey. Not, "Your sister is the landlord." A single sentence is, "Aren't you willing to say a word?" She glanced at the book on the bed, seeking the way. What is the significance of that little yellow book? Love for Princess Ollie is flawed. quickly stepped forward, put the study materials in the cabinet, then glared at King Yuan. Just pretend you didn't see anything. This future junior sister. It's still quite cute. Let's talk about how your grades are. I will decide how to help you. First, I have very good grades. It's not me bratting. I speak. I am confident I will get a perfect score in math. She crossed her legs, her smooth bare feet elegantly arched, glancing sideways at Love, throw over a stack of exam papers. As a result, upon looking, as she said, every achievement is quite impressive. Only, sorry, I can only help with English text. Suddenly, Gong Ailey lay on the bed, searching for something under the sheets. Quickly flipped out a tattered exam paper. After much hesitation, it was finally handed over. Upon closer inspection, 21 minutes. This girl is seriously biased in her studies. Just this one subject. Sufficient to nullify the advantages accumulated by other subjects. General Mike, the five-star reviewer, has stated, one cannot have both the national language and a foreign language. But when she saw the paper with a score of 21, I really can't hold back. I am blindfolded. It's not sweet at all, only 21 points. English is so difficult. Can I drop this class? Ailey buried her head in the blanket. The appearance of escaping reality. Unexpectedly cute. She wriggled her rubbery body, as if afraid of being ridiculed. Therefore I strive to burrow into the blankets, though lacking the mature charm of a public execution. But on her body, not a single extra ounce of fat. Flat abdomen, a faint grip around the slender waist. Even lying down, delicate and small little balls. There wasn't the slightest movement. It makes one unable to hold back their pain. Are they really born from the same mother? Gong Ailey performs well in other subjects. Only foreign languages are seriously lacking. But foreign languages must be learned. I want to learn a foreign language too. It's great to learn an additional skill. English, please. It's not really my strong suit either. It's only considered above average. But the college entrance exam isn't just about English. If you don't like English, why not just switch to another subject? Please. I only have 1 year left until the college entrance exam. Learn to think from scratch. It's too late. With a sigh, Gong Ailey said, a serious and anxious expression, those enchanting phoenix eyes, tightly closed. Long eyelashes flutter. Not necessarily. Are you interested in Chinese? Do you know how? Gave her. Carefully examined with Miss Ailey. Every subject's score is very stable. Only the Chinese language performance was exceptionally outstanding. Achieved a perfect score. Suddenly her eyes sparkled, as if seeing hope. Every step should be taken carefully. Let's start with the simplest pinyin. Qin Yuan leaned against the bed, starting the lesson. Chinese as the most complex language. One must lay a solid foundation. Heelan swallowed a half branch of dates. It will only be a waste of effort. From now on, you'll be my brother-in-law. Regarding my sister, just ask me, whether it's a hobby or a sorrowful photo. I will speak of nothing that I have not decided. Gong Ailey approached with a smile. The petite figure pressed closer. The fragrance of deceiving the weary heart. Let Qin Yuan have some wishes fulfilled. The long hair on the left side is tucked behind the ear. Gong Ailey's clean face emerged. Holding the phone, I also started looking up learning materials about Chinese. Wait a moment. My wife and I are not that kind of relationship. Qin Yuan quickly explained. Available. It was a meaningful glance. I understand. Let's learn first. Gong Ailey had a wicked smile on her face. Take out your notebook. Get ready to listen carefully. This girl has definitely misunderstood something. She touched her nose. Advised, anyway, I don't have that kind of thought. Don't speak carelessly. Otherwise, I won't teach you. You actually threatened me. All right, all right. I guess I'll just keep quiet. Ultimately, help comes from public love. It is to let the public take action themselves. Don't act rashly. If she were to add fuel to the fire, Qin Yuan lacks confidence, can resist temptation. Unknowingly, we studied deeply until nightfall. Simply handled dinner. Ailey went to take a shower. Qin Yuan sat on the bed, smelling the faint fragrance in the room. My mood has improved quite a bit. During this period, Gong did not appear again. Instead, the repairman arrived. The air conditioner has been repaired. However, the water and electricity bills are also a significant expense. We should also consider job opportunities. The sound of flowing water echoed in my ears. He and Gong Ailey's wonderful singing voice. Let her mind be filled with evil fantasies. She pinched her thigh hard. This is when I finally began to feel a bit awake. The skill of unintentional understanding. After finishing breakfast, Gong Ailey walked out. Her hair was drenched. Droplets of water hung from the tips of the hair, wearing a cute pink pajamas. It's just that the button wasn't fastened properly. The snow-white skin of the abdomen is prominently exposed. Qin Yuan couldn't help but take another look. Flat abdomen. Her skin was fair and smooth, as perfect and flawless as Yang Jiayu. Noticing her gaze, Gong Ailey was not angry, but instead showed a strangely meaningful smile. He even leaned towards her. A slim waist that fits perfectly in one's grasp. These two sisters are not honest at all. They are all man-eating monsters. But compared to that lady, with Gong Ailey, it felt much more normal. At least you don't have to worry about your innocence. Come over quickly to learn once you're done. First, let's understand some basic Chinese characters. Qin Yuan wrote a few simple big characters in the book. Continue with popular science. You also know quite a few Chinese characters. But the meanings may not be the same. You must remember well. I will definitely apply the experiences taught by my teacher. Learn everything without any omissions. With Princess Ai Lai Mei's enchanting eyes. Stretch out the green onion like white fingers. Gently poked Qin Yuan's cheek. A man and a woman share a room, and they are all at the age of youthful vigor. The atmosphere inevitably became somewhat ambiguous. After taking a shower, Ailey's fragrance became more intense. For Qin Yuan, who has endured the trial of public execution, this level isn't worth mentioning, regardless of the revealing attire. Still, there are meaningful physical touches. All can turn a blind eye. Remain composed in the face of temptation, with Gong Ailey gradually giving up on teasing Qin Yuan. Study diligently and honestly, silently observing every word. She had seen the vast majority of them, but the meanings are quite different. As if a new world had been opened. It made her somewhat addicted to it, unable to extricate oneself. This class is unexpectedly interesting. Thanks to you, teacher. Qin Yuan secretly stuck out his tongue, created a bit of distance. She still hasn't forgotten what happened in the morning, being called a pervert. Continued teaching for a while. See the sky. Rising in the evening, I said, let's finish this today. I will write a few more idioms for you. Don't read those little yellow books at night. Study hard. If the weather is cooler tomorrow, I will take you to buy some textbooks. She scrolled through her phone. Tomorrow in Tokyo, it will only be in the 20s. It's perfect for a walk outside. Also, take the opportunity to look for a part-time job. Right now my wallet is empty. Next month's utilities and rent. Still no news. With Lady Ai Lai smiling brightly, in the gaze towards Qin Yuan, added a special feeling. Then he turned his gaze to the notebook. Remember every word above. Wait a moment. Qin Yuan is all ready. Tang wrote 3 or 4 idioms, and the allusions contained within. Seeing this, Gong Ali's cheeks puffed out slightly. Qin Yuan was solely focused on teaching. I began to feel a bit restless. Opened their mouth to speak. At such times, you should proactively add my contact information. Qin Yuan tilted his head to look at her. After a sigh, just took out the phone. Add contact information. On the delicate cheeks of Lady Ailey, visible happiness starts to emerge. In the watery eyes, a blanket of night fell. The moonlight spills through the window. Striving can lead to mistakes. She turned on the light. Close the window and turn on the air conditioning. Gentle light spills down. Finally able to see the outline of the entire room. Similar in size to Ai Lai's room. It should be even older. The furniture only consists of a bed and a small table. But fortunately, someone has cleaned up. It's not very dirty. It's been 2 days. This is still the first time I've seen my own room. Qin Yuan lay on the small bed. Compared to the bed of public execution, it's simply several levels worse. It's not comfortable to be so stiff. She looked around. I always feel like something is missing. This is when I remembered. The luggage is still in the house where the duel took place. Forget it, I'll go get it tomorrow. Sat all day long. She is currently experiencing back pain and soreness in her waist. I don't want to move. The entire apartment is quite quiet. Looking through the window, looking at the dazzling street lights outside. A complex expression on the face. Nightlife in an international metropolis. It has just begun. The neon lights flash alternately. People come and go on the street. The noisy life intertwines with the honking of vehicles. Tokyo is so bustling, but I cannot enjoy it myself. It felt as if it didn't belong here at all. Although he is a top student from Tokyo University, but it cannot be considered a bright future. Although the society is facing a serious decline in birth rates, but that doesn't mean Tokyo lacks labor. Just based on the degree from Dongda University. I want to live a relaxed life from 9 to 5. It's also very difficult. Moreover, she is at a very ripe age. The decline in birth rates has reached a certain level. Companies will naturally increase benefits. But that is for the next generation of young people. She is still a hardworking ox. I don't want to think about it anymore. Go to bed early. Love's fate turns off the light, burying my head in the pillow. Consciousness gradually fades. Sleepiness invades the brain. A faint sound echoed in my ears. Are you asleep? Even in sleep she's so adorable. But the shoes won't come off either. What a messy child. But anyway, we all have to strip down later. A familiar voice sounded. Like a yellow eagle calling for the moon. Let the love affair gently open its hazy eyes. Faintly visible under the moonlight. A beautiful shadow in the wind and rain. Slowly approaching. Wearing a deep purple silk pajamas. With her head tilted, her long hair cascades down. Blocked half of the face. Can't see the face clearly. As a soft jade hand. Gently touching the cheek. A feeling like being electrocuted. He woke up in shock, staring wide-eyed. The woman before him was indeed Yu Gong Shajai. Only the shimmering moonlight can be seen. The sunlight streamed through the window onto her. Delicate skin subtly revealed. The body of the winged fish. The already snug pajamas. It's feeling a bit tight. Perhaps sneaking in secretly, causing excessive excitement. Her cheeks were tinged with a layer of crimson. Seems particularly tempting. Qin Yuan gasped in surprise. Panicked, Yugong tilted his head in confusion. Just that raised face with elegant brows and eyes. A smile flickers on and off. Really? How did she wake up so quickly? I should come a bit later. Forget it. Waking up is better. It's no fun being alone. She gradually approaches the suburbs filled with wind, exuding a fragrant aroma. Spoke softly. King Jun, you don't hate me, do you? Madam, this move has been used before. Love's grievances are expressed from the heart. But at this moment, my mind is in chaos. Sweat trickled down his forehead, dripping continuously from the jaw. Killing branch sister. Calm down. I will also calm down. Don't forget, your younger sister's room is right next door. You wouldn't want her to hear those strange sounds, would you? The corners of her mouth twitched slightly, deliberately turned up the volume. I hope the rain girl, AI Lai, next door can give me some response. But her cry for help, I did not receive a reply. Thought, could it be that I fell asleep like this? AI Lai, what did the child say? Forget it. It doesn't matter even if she hears it. Yugong pondered as he spoke. The soft tenderness, as white as jade, has already sighed over. Ellie said in the end, she is only my sister in name according to the law. It is the memory of the heartless father after the marriage. The matters of our family. There is no need for the Qin army to worry too much. She just needs to focus on one thing now. Heard astonishing news. Qin Yuan was somewhat surprised. But the current situation, there is no energy left to deal with other matters. This lady, it's time to eat someone. Chajai, I just want to get a good night's sleep. Let's talk about other things later. Are you okay? Qin Yuan swallowed hard, a face full of anxiety. I should have locked the door from the inside. It shouldn't have come to this point. Today, I really feel like I'm going to be wiped clean. On the delicate cheeks of Yu Gong, revealing a hint of estrangement. After hesitating for a moment, they finally spoke. All right then, I'll just leave the fruit here. You can eat it tomorrow. Speaking, she turned on the light and placed a basket of fresh fruit on the table. Qin Yuan glanced over. Make a rough estimate. At least several tens of thousands of yen. Thought, fruit, only see the rain god cut the branches. She tucked a strand of hair behind her ear. It's a pity to show such a look. I originally wanted to discuss Ailey's studies with Qin John while eating. Since you're tired, then forget it. Because Ailey really put in a lot of effort for the exam. But she is always clumsy, not learning well. She sat on the edge of the bed, peeling a banana and taking a small bite, telling the story of Yugong and AI Lai. With Ailey's achievements, attending a second-tier university is quite easy. But she also doesn't know. Why are you so obsessed with Tadai? In summary, I hope the Qin army can help AI Lai. That child always speaks very directly. If I upset you, I apologize on her behalf. As the voice fell, Yugong killed the branch and captured a feat. Then they planned to turn and leave. Ailey is very smart. As long as you study well, there will be no problem. Qin Yuan glanced at the expensive fruits on the table. Just thinking about how I misunderstood my wife's intentions. Suddenly felt unworthy of the gift. Though not biological sisters, the relationship between the two is still quite good. Then I can rest assured. Otherwise, she would definitely feel cheap. It even affects learning. Qin Yuan was stunned for a moment. I understand. Rain Gong Ailey would care about such matters, and feel it's a bargain. The lively and cheerful figure of youth appearing in my mind, I feel inexplicably. She can only accept it gladly, then take all the fruit for oneself. Today, I originally wanted to give Kinjun a surprise. But if you're tired, then forget it. It's a pity about my newly bought underwear. I originally wanted to show it to the Kin army, but I heard that watching eerie things before bed can lead to poor sleep, just like last night. To ensure the Kin army has a good night's sleep, forget it. Qin Yuan paused, looking at the departing figure of Rain Gong Shajai with a complex expression. Whoa, I really want to see. Although curiosity temporarily took over my mind, but she still suppressed it. If you take a look at this moment, then it can't be moved again. Got it? I heard Ali say. Yugong Shashai's footsteps suddenly stopped, looking back at Qin Yuan. Are you planning to go buy textbooks with her tomorrow? Is that correct? She inexplicably felt a chill run down her spine. Suddenly, Yugong Shajai walked towards her with heavy steps. Is it really just to buy textbooks? Still using this pretense to go. Yugong Shashai's voice grew increasingly cold. Her face darkened as well. Perhaps it's an illusion. Qin Yuan unexpectedly felt, in those beautiful eyes, the shimmering blood light of starry red. It's really just about buying textbooks. Qin Yuan argued loudly. Ming and Yu Gong Shajai are not that kind of relationship. But I need to explain clearly. Relationship with other women. This made her feel extremely irritated, constantly swallowing saliva, causing her to feel extremely thirsty, unable to resist picking up an apple. He started to eat heartily. Too bold. First, eat some fruit. The story of AI lie. I will definitely explain it clearly. Why is she called Ailey? I am the wife. Shajai. I was wrong. That's more like it. Yu Gong Shajai smiled playfully, sitting beside Qin Yuan, snatched the apple from her hand, suddenly pulled out a fruit knife from somewhere. With a beaming smile, she said, You need to peel it well beforehand. It's nothing, as long as it's the fruit sent by Shajai. Everything is clean and delicious. Even if it's just the skin, I don't want to waste it. Suddenly felt like walking on thin ice. Qin Yuan quickly explained. And bring the apple along with the fruit knife. We brought it over together. If it's the wife, I want to eat a peeled apple. I'm here to help you. Thank you, Qin Jun. Yugong Shatai clearly has lips. Turned to look around the house. Final gaze fell onto Qin Yuan. Even the luggage is still in my room. It's just a matter of a few steps. Do you not want to see me? Does the Qin army mean to say, Do you really hate me? I am truly a sorrowful person and completely uncharismatic woman. Does Qin Jun like AI lie? After all, Ailey is both young and cute. Much better than an old woman like me. Rain Gong Shajai was not surprised, but her face was filled with overwhelming sorrow. How could that be? Shajai, you are much more beautiful than her. Discussion on faces. The two are evenly matched. Each has its own charm. But when it comes to body shape, the two are incomparable. Compared to the airport, who can refuse the big white rabbit? Of course. It also does not rule out those with unusual fetishes. However, Qin Yuan did not belong to that type. The first time I saw Rain Gong Ailey, I thought she was a beautiful girl, not as stunning as Yu Gong Shajai. Unfortunately, the latter is already taken. Although this young lady have a good impression of oneself, but after all, she's a married woman. And just as Qin Yuan was speaking in praise, Yu Gong Shajai's gaze was erratic, always swaying back and forth. Why did the Qin army come to this apartment? Is it because of me? There were many perverts in the past, too, admired my appearance, desiring my body, therefore drawn by reputation. They were all driven away. Would the Qin army have the same reasons? It is. That is a pervert. It must be said otherwise. I will be even less happy if I were to say why I came here. The story is only half told. He paused. Consider changing your mind. Because I have no money. As the saying goes, money is not everything. But having no money is absolutely not acceptable. Prices in Tokyo. It is far from comparable to the countryside. The money earned from working part-time, only able to barely survive. Of course, it's not just about the money. Qin Yuan gestured with his hands. The apartment manager. It is Shajai, such a beautiful woman. Every man would be moved. So that's how it is. Yu Gong Shajai held it in for a while, turning to look elsewhere, Yinda. This shouldn't make you angry, right? Qin Yuan was puzzled. Look at her appearance. Unexpected inner calm. They probably didn't feel unhappy. Anyway, what was said is indeed the truth. Come here. Regardless of being caught in the rain, Shajai. Attractive due to cheap rent. I just didn't expect it. This lady is a yandir. The Qin army is currently very short on funds, right? Yugong Shajai gathered her courage. He continued in a low voice. Is this really about actively supporting oneself? Indeed, that's the case. Qin Yuan couldn't help but scratch his head. Dare not to look directly. Being a kept person comes with a cost. Let alone a sickly sweet person. It's just that. This lady is surprisingly easy to deal with. I saw Qin Yuan's serious and uneasy expression, those captivating phoenix eyes, tightly closed with tension, long eyelashes fluttering. After a long time, Yugong Shajai has finally made up her mind. The beautiful eyes gently opened. Their gazes met. Qin army, I've been feeling unwell all over lately, especially the shoulders, especially sore. If you're willing, help me knead it a bit. It feels good to pinch. I will pay you 10,000 yen. Speaking, Yugon Shajai, embroider that head of jet black hair. Smash into a ponytail. The wasp waist twisted as she turned her back, but even if facing away, still vaguely visible. On the chest, where the wind is rich and full. Yugong Shajai's lips curled slightly, always wearing a faint smile, revealing the unique charm and allure of the beautiful lady. Don't worry. 1 hour is enough. A gentle voice began to speak. It seemed to carry an irresistible magical power. 10,000 every hour. It's still just a job like shoulder massage. This is simply a gift. Qin Yuan swallowed his saliva, a bit nervous and worried. But I really don't want to miss this good opportunity. Here I come. He sat cross-legged on the bed. Raise your big hand. Gently press on that white, frost-like shoulder. As the skin makes contact, like an electric current coursing through the spine. The gel body of Rain Gong Shajai can't help but tremble a little. A few drops of sweat slid down the cheek. Appears sexy and alluring. This left Qin Yuan perplexed. Did the air conditioner work? With both hands through the thin pajamas, gently kneading that fragrant shoulder. A sweet scent of musk filled the nostrils. Refreshing and delightful. Once again, I am haunted by dreams I cannot escape. Sweat gradually spreads all over the body. Makes the rain goddess Shajai's dress, faintly sticking to the rubber body. 2 perfect ceramic buttocks, faintly visible, rather than sinking into the depression of the fairy demons, forming a stunning arc. Seeing this appearance, Qin Yuan's grip involuntarily tightened. Yu Gong Shazhai then subconsciously. Through clenched teeth, a sound like heavenly music emerged. After a while, that soft, gelatinous body, as if losing all strength, leaning on Qin Yuan's shoulder. Qin Yuan glanced at his chest. That round wind solidifies, snow white and tender, proudly standing on the chest. A few droplets of water playfully, sticking to the pale skin, crystal clear, extremely enviable. Qin Yuan couldn't help but have strange thoughts. I want to reach out and measure. The perfect gelatinous body hesitates to stand. A little extra weight makes you look fat. A little less means thinner. Body like snow, in harmony with the moonlight. Jingying's fragrant man, continuously from the rain god. Shazhai fell upon her, soaked the wooden floor beneath her jade-like feet. Shazhai, if you feel uncomfortable, just say a word to me, she said cautiously, afraid this deal might fall through. It's all done. Definitely have to see it through and take the money. But what if the customer is not satisfied? I'm afraid you won't get a penny. Jet black embroidered hair, stuck to the smooth, jade-like back. Sensual, slender shoulders. The faint humiliation visible from behind. A waist that can be held in a single grasp. Next is round and perky. Snow-white, plump buttocks. Long, slender legs pressed together. Can't see a single gap. Rain Princess Shazhai twirled her hair. Ming Zui remained silent. Shazhai, your other place. It looks pretty stiff. Do you need me to give it a rub? Qin Yuan took a deep breath, wiped away the sweat. Suddenly, the air felt much hotter. Makes one impulsive. But as long as it moved once, that will be a lifetime. She hesitated for a long time. Seeing this, Yu Gong Shazhai took the initiative to speak. Just a shoulder rub. It's such a waste. Let's do a full body workout in one go. I'll add another 20,000. Qin Yuan suddenly became interested. No more hesitation. Who would want to go against money? With both hands pressing on that delicate waist. Suddenly a flood of thoughts surged through my mind. A great play and soft performances. Such a waste. In my memory, I've only seen them a few times. If she had to flatten it to the thinnest, that must be Rain Gong Ailey. After all, age and body shape are a factor. If there is a chance, can touch the waist of Rain Gong Ailey. That would be so satisfying. Tin Army. Yu Gong Shadai shouted. Are you thinking about other women? The movement in Qin Yuan's hands suddenly slowed down considerably. How could I think of another woman? The Qin Army is just a big fool. They'd lie. I want to file a complaint. Qin Yuan felt a rush of panic in his heart, just about to explain. After a moment of reflection, he wants to file a complaint. What does it have to do with oneself? Complaint. Complaining to anyone won't help you. Thinking of this, he has also been quite reckless. Even a rebellious mindset has emerged. The figure of Rain Gong Ailey. That little toe is truly adorable. Qin Army. Think of other women again. You won't get a single cent of this money. On Yu Gongshi's beautiful face, showing a hint of anger. Earn my money. Thinking of other women. The Qin Army has gone too far. Ah, wah, wah. I am truly a miserable woman. Am I really that annoying? Where is Ollie stronger than me? Qin Yuan listened to these words. Eyes tightly closed. Can't help but sigh. The waist has been massaged enough now. Let's change the place. Yu Gong Shashai said lightly. She turned around and looked directly at Qin Yuan. In those watery eyes, it seems to carry a hint of resentment. Qin Yuan felt silent. Since meeting this lady, every day, every second. Everyone lives in such fear and anxiety. But this kind of stimulation, it also excited him greatly. When debuting, always worried about being robbed or attacked. But now he was somewhat looking forward to it. If I were to explain the reason, that is, I don't want to try hard any more, my dear. Chajide, where else do you feel unwell? Qin Yuan spoke calmly. Pause for a moment. Yugong Shajai will take off the hair tie, those 3,000 strands of hair, like a waterfall, spilled on the fragrant shoulders and jade blanket. Asking the way, I feel a bit suffocated in my chest. Qin Yuan was astonished, glanced at those voluptuous curves. His face turned red. Just kidding. Can you give my feet a massage? Yugong Shasha shook her head and smiled. Today I am not wearing stockings, so there's no way. Let you experience the feeling of taking off stockings. I'm really sorry. Qin Yuan thought for a while. The expression is a bit strange. I'm not that kind of freak. Really? He asked. Really not. Qin Yuan said seriously. It doesn't matter anymore. Anyway, my little feet are in your hands. Rain goddess Shachai's long legs stretched straight. A pair of snowy white, gleaming jade-like feet rested on Qin Yuan's legs. 10 crystal-like toes appeared enticing and cute. How to use? I won't blame you at all. Come on. Qin Yuan's gaze, falling on that tender little calf, and that white reverse ankle. My eyelid twitched. Breathing has become considerably heavier. Gently reach out to touch. Feeling the icy, cool touch, it became even more tense. Yugong Shajai pressed her lips together. Turn your face and feel the warm touch of your fingertips. My heart started to race. Qin Yuan skillfully kneaded. Dare not have any crooked thoughts. You can be a bit more forceful and reckless. Yugong Shajai smiles like a flower. Show a delicate and beautiful face. Her narrow fur shrouded in mist. Charm ripples. The corners of her mouth curled slightly upwards. Luscious lips glisten enticingly. Qin Yuan did not dare to be careless. Gently massaging every inch of skin. After a long time, finally completed, she supported herself on the bed, gasping repeatedly. Look again. Yugong Shajai's tall figure, Eli Jaikun, fully loaded on my back, against the backdrop of silk pajamas. Yu fa shui my taoban yell ying. To be honest, look at her figure. I can't believe it at all. This is the figure of a young married woman. Zio Fu Ping Tan. Not a trace of excess fat. Smooth skin. There isn't a single bump or pit. Very fair-skinned. Emitting a hint of pink. Her figure, really great and well-proportioned. But definitely not bony. Not tall. But definitely not delicate and petite. The tips of my fingers feel damaged. Wan si bai lian yu. No matter where it is. They are the creme de la creme. It is something countless women envy. Kinarami, are you tired? The voice is clear and pure, in a voice as ethereal as the heavens, mixed with a touch of tenderness. How could that be? Just warming up. Qin Yuan clenched his fist. It felt as if my body was still filled with endless power. A man cannot say no. Yugong lay on the bed, looking at her with flirtatious eyes. As the blood lazily sprawls on the ground, brothers sue from the full soul abyss. The clothes rack creates a wonderful arc. She lifted her long legs, a pair of delicate, fair jade-like feet, gently pressed against Qin Yuan's chest. Then help me massage my thighs, please. This isn't very good, is it? You are unwilling. If you are unwilling, I also find it hard to ask for help. But if that's the case, Nature has its own rhythm. How much should I deduct? 10,000. Classical Chinese. Qin Yuan's expression changed, pressing down on the fish lord's body, swearing solemnly to fall. Kill only. Leave it to me. The fish lord kills while the face is slightly flushed. Then untie the rope, like black satin, leaning on the bed, with a charming smile at the corners of her lips. Anyone, seeing her like this at this moment, felt embarrassed and flustered, tempted by her mature and enchanting demeanor. Sure, go ahead. The delicate voice is intoxicating. Qin Yuan's hands also began to tremble, gently grasped the plump, round earth. The Qin army's strength is tremendous. So painful. But it's also very comfortable. The technique is very skilled. How many women has he massaged, anyway? He is such a fickle guy. But the past is the past. As long as he only listens to me from now on, that's enough. It makes my body feel so hot. Feeling dizzy. What would happen if I fainted now? I won't take the money. Just take me back to the house. Given his personality, Qin Yuan tightly closed his eyes. With both hands, I explore and gently mold through memories. He knew that once he opened his eyes, it just can't be closed again. He still wants. I can finally get a good night's sleep tonight. As the massage continues, the soft touch in the palm, continuously refreshing Qin Yuan's impression of killing Yu Gong. Madame unexpectedly looked rosy, really soft. It smells so good and feels so comfortable. Is her husband a eunuch? How can one endure it? The more I think about it, the angrier I get. Qin Yuan felt a surge of jealousy and envy in his heart. If this is his wife, from then on, the king no longer held morning court. Qin, the Qin army is ready. Stop now. A trembling, weak voice emerged. Qin Yuan finally opened his eyes, looking at that delicate cheek. I was instantly captivated by those watery eyes. Just look at the tears welling up in those eyes. A wave of guilt surged within me. He quickly released his hands. Yu Gong stood up trembling after killing him, walking down from the bed with a limp. He pulled out a few 10,000 yuan bills and tossed them to him. I'll leave first then, Yu Gong whispered as he killed it, walking towards the door at the same time. Qin Yuan stood still in place, feeling the lingering warmth in my hands. Only then did I realize I was somewhat lost. Xuanji raised her gaze. Look towards Lord Yu and kill him. Kill it. I have something I want to talk to you about. As soon as the words fell, Yu Gong killed him and immediately turned back. Her beautiful eyes were full of anticipation. Are you saying? He finally figured it out. Go, Qin army. Speak it out. I am a woman with a fair complexion and beautiful looks. If we don't seize the moment in time, there won't be many chances left. Qin Yuan took a deep breath. Summoning the courage, he spoke up. About tomorrow when I go out with AI Lai. Can you lend me some money? In an instant, the atmosphere froze. The expression of Yu Gong as he kills. Mystery is filled with confusion and anger. You two go out on a date. You still want me to pay? We are not dating. It's just to buy foreign language textbooks. Isn't that just going on a date? And didn't I already give you the money? One thing at a time. This amount of money, I earned it through my own hard work. Qin Yuan carefully put away the 30,000 yen. Speak with righteous indignation. In this bustling metropolis, money is spent easily. Yu Gong killed with his jewel eyes. Stare wide-eyed through the powder circle. I couldn't stop shaking all over. But in the end, I still compromised. He took out another 10,000 yen and handed it to him. Is this okay? He glared at Qin Yuan through gritted teeth. even if it's an angry expression. Surprisingly cute. No deterrent at all. Uh, F. Then I'm leaving. Yugong's voice became weak and powerless, leaving with a dejected stride. Kill it. I have one more thing. I would like to ask you for a favor. Qin Yuan thought for a moment. Determined, she called out to him. This must be a matter of great importance for CC. Yugong turned slowly and looked over, as their gazes intertwined. The atmosphere was filled with a touch of beauty. As long as it's something I can do, I will definitely help you, although I didn't expect to call for compensation right from the start. But at least there should be more physical contact, right? Yugong killed him, unable to hide the anticipation in my heart. Gazing at Qin Yuan with tender affection, Qin Yuan coughed twice. Now, Tu Dao, please do not enter my room casually in the future. I also want a bit of private space. If there is an urgent matter, you can call me. As the words fell, two lines of green tears traced down from the corners of the eyes. Yugong killed it, pursing his lips and lowering his head, making it difficult to see the expression. I like you so much. Why do you keep disappointing my expectations again and again? Suddenly, a murderous intent surged. The meaning permeates every part of me. Qin Yuan couldn't help but take 2 steps back. Hurriedly said, if you are unwilling, it's okay. I don't hate killing either. I'm just afraid for my little heart. I can't stand this kind of stimulation. Yugong remained silent even after killing it. Just dropped a key on the ground. Then she coldly turned around. Then I'm leaving. Indifferent words fell. He stomped out, slamming the door behind him. Qin Yuan let out a sigh of relief. He thought that Lord Yu really intended to kill him. He slowly walked towards the key. Just picked it up. A voice from outside echoed once again. He is truly a cold-hearted man. But it is this Qin army. I really like it. He. No way, no way. Don't show such a lewd expression. Maintain dignity and elegance. Must maintain the demeanor of an older sister. Tomorrow let's continue to work hard. After bowing so many times, it's time to harvest the crops. After Yugong killed him and left, Qin Yuan sat by the bedside, unable to fall asleep for a long time. Let's go outside for some fresh air. He slowly got up and walked towards the door. Just opened the door. A gentle breeze brushed against the cheek. It feels a bit stuffy. He leaned against the railing in the corridor, taking a puff of smoke. As a smoke ring is exhaled, the whole person became much calmer. Perhaps the thrill brought by Yugong's killing was too intense. Qin Yuan has been boiling for several hours. There wasn't a trace of sleepiness. Yugong's killing was indeed very beautiful, although they are a bit older than me. It is a time of great brilliance. If we consider psychological age, Qin Yuan is quite a bit older. Madame's leg is not a leg. It is the spring water by the Seine River. Please don't follow me anymore. Like a heavenly love, a delicate voice began to sing, carrying deep disdain. Qin Yuan felt a sense of familiarity. Curiously cast their gaze towards the source of life. Yugong Ailey was standing in front of the apartment, on the beautiful prophecy, wearing a subtle plum blossom makeup. On the delicate face, not showing the slightest charm, but it captivates the soul. This 18-year-old high school student, like a white lotus emerging from the water, poised to stand, revealing a chill, yet keeps others at a distance of 1,000 miles. Younger sister, add a contact method. Is it that troublesome? I've walked with you all the way. At least give me some recognition. Yugong loves AI lie in front of him. A yellow-haired figure is moving. Her short, golden hair, as night deepened. Can't see the appearance at all. You have been following me all the way. Chehan. The long hair on the left side is tucked behind the ear. Yugong Ailey's clean face emerged against the gentle breeze, yet it still spread clearly. Light body fragrance, seeing the fate of love, squinting his eyes, looking with great interest. Aminos, this girl. Turns out they went out to have fun in the middle of the night, resulting in being hassled by a thug. That's really unpleasant to hear, if he is really infatuated. You were taken to the small woods long ago. I just want a way to contact you. I advise you to be reasonable. Guang Mao pressed closer. Arrogant tone. Indeed, if it's perverse, this girl no longer has a chance to shout. But they were forced to ask for contact information. This person isn't a good person either. I have arrived home. Be careful or I'll have someone beat you up. Call me. Shouting until one's throat is hoarse. No one came to save. I said you just start from. Before Huang Mao could finish speaking, only a figure was seen. Suddenly appeared from the shadows. A fist the size of a sandbag, in the blink of an eye, hit him in the abdomen. A decisive strike. The yellow-haired person's pupils dilated sharply. Kneeling silently on the ground, King Yuan clenched his fist. I haven't beaten anyone up for a long time. This feeling is really familiar. Meeting fate. Yugong Ai was overjoyed beyond expectations. Hastily stepped forward and hugged his arm, gently pressed against with barely noticeable soft curves. Hey, I endured your nagging all the way, daring to be arrogant on my territory. Are you convinced now? Huang Mao coughed twice, reluctantly planning to stand up again. Love's emergence. Another punch landed on the back. This straight. In an instant, he was unable to rise again. Fate tread upon his back. Then he looked at Yugong Ailey. La Sheng Dao, you too. What are you doing running around at night? What should we do if we encounter real bad people? Yugong Ailey was left speechless, just pouting, feeling a bit down. Damn it. Now it is a society governed by the rule of law. You're finished. I want to call the police. Huang Mao was extremely annoyed. I used all my strength to pull out my phone. A hint of jealousy in love. This guy actually knows some common sense. After all, it was my own action that started it. A criticism and a fine are probably unavoidable. Seeing this, Yugong Ai immediately kicked the phone away. Then a heavy foot stomped on Huang Mao's face. He smiled and poked King Yuan with his elbow. Hee. This way. We are accomplices. Why bother? You helped me. I can't let you bear the responsibility alone, can I? Listening to the two of them chatting and laughing, Huang Mao suddenly exerted strength, escaping from beneath their feet. Quickly got up, furious glare at the two. Why didn't you say you have a boyfriend? Wasting my time. Huang Mao was furious. Just as King Yuan was about to explain, only feel the face of the yellow-haired person. It feels somewhat familiar. I asked instinctively. Zai Wai. Zai Wai tilted his head, looked at him in surprise. Suddenly he pressed forward fiercely. Elder brother. Yugong Ailey looked confusedly at the two of them. The glistening beautiful eyes shimmered, as if understanding something. Immediately, a smiling face brought hands together in prayer. So it turns out we are on the same side, separated for 2.5 years. Why are you still being a thug? Love's fate. Bad memories surface in the mind. That is his dark history before senior year. And this is Zai Wai Ren. In this dark chapter of history, he can be considered a key figure. But, yes, I'm sorry. I didn't know she was your woman, she said tremulously. She has known her romantic relationship for over 3 years. Fear of it. It comes from the core of one's being. She and I. That's right. I am her girlfriend. Now that you know, get lost. Yugong loves the little bird alone, leaning on the shoulder of fate. Keoji zai wai zai ren lai he sheng. Private Marcel. I'm leaving right away. She didn't dare to resist at all. Pick up the phone from the ground. Then lie on the ground and roll away. Seeing that she has already rolled far away, Yugong Ai finally let go of her hand. After a sigh, curiously looking at the love connection. I didn't expect you used to be involved in society. The romantic connection feels a bit awkward. Unwilling to look directly, those eyes filled with a thirst for knowledge. It has nothing to do with you. Go back. I have to wake up early again tomorrow. She said she couldn't go upstairs much longer. Yubong Ali also followed closely behind, even followed her directly into the room. What are you doing following me, girl? Quick, go out. Aren't you going to welcome me? Dear one. Rume's voice began to sound. Yugong Ai pointed the air angle towards the love earlobe, blowing with the humid and fragrant air. Put on an act. You really took it seriously. Love has turned gray for her as well. Too lazy to say more. Sitting on the bed, she started eating fruit. It looks so expensive and delicious. So wealthy. The group of people approached under Ai Lai's feet. Beautiful fingers. Pick up an apple. As the gaze shifted, personally fed into the mouth of fate. Fair-skinned fingers. The thin lips are pressed against the smoky red of love's fate. A gentle scratch. With all kinds of charm. I'm not like that little punk. If you provoke me. Next scene. Jai Jai Jai. King Yuan let out a terrifying cackle. Yubo smiled gently at Ailey, again with provocative moves. Pick up a fresh red apple. Delicious fingers. Directly reached into her mouth. The Bond is not willing to back down at all. Bite her delicate white fingers. Savor the water slowly. Only then would they relent. Be gentle, will you? Really? Yu Gong smiled happily at Ai Lai. Wai Wei felt a twinge of pain, but did not care at all. Young and out having fun. Can't you cherish yourself a bit more? King Yuan disdainfully spat out the jade paper. Tone is indifferent. As if the beautiful girl before me. It's just a giant pink skull. After all, compared to Gong Shazhai, this little girl's charm is nothing to talk about. I cherish my own. I will never let myself go hungry. Fate cannot be moved by mere encounters. Elise sat on the bed with a lack of enthusiasm, picking up the fruit and taking big bites. In this era, as long as you are willing to work, it's impossible to go hungry. Braised dishes with meat are also a norm, except for Smida. You have such a great figure, eating so much fruit late at night. Not afraid of getting fat. Faded feelings linger. HMPH, nothing's wrong again. I still think I'm too thin. Losing weight won't earn money either. You gone ai lie, biting into a pineapple. With both hands holding a knife, he sliced open the watermelon, feasting without a care in the world. A romantic connection draws out a banana. Hand it to you, Gong Ali. Eat up and hurry to leave. This room has poor soundproofing. If the noise is too loud, can't guarantee that Gong Shashai won't. Coming over with a knife. She and I are completely innocent. What's the hurry? What are you afraid of? Yu Gong Ally proudly held her swan-like white neck high. You think a single banana can distract me? Then don't eat it. Yu Gong Ali took a quick breath. Don't. Hurry and give it to me. King Yuan sighed. Really a little glutton. She handed her the whole basket of fruit. Go eat in your own room. Don't lean on me." Yugong gave Ollie a disdainful glance. "Beautifully said. I am such a beautiful girl. Others have ambitions worth thousands of gold. No one ever had the chance to talk to me. You actually want me to leave. He is truly a heartless and ungrateful man. If I were heartless and ungrateful, you were bullied and cried a long time ago. Silly girl. King Yuan Dao. Yugong loves AI Lai, stepping down from the high silk, stretching out the smooth little feet, gently stepped on King Yuan's thigh. With a smiling face, he said, "Then I should thank you. You treat me so well. You wouldn't have any thoughts about me, would you? Don't you like my sister? You can't have a foot in two boats. Her foot shape is very beautiful. The ankles are round and delicate. The skin on the soles is smooth and delicate. Bai Lai Tu Hong. The toes are arranged neatly. Delicately cute. It is truly a masterpiece beyond compare." Yu Gong Ai Lai smiled sweetly. "Stand tall, using her soft a cup, kneading the skin of love's connection." At the same time, he also held her earlobe in his mouth. "Gently bite her smoky red lips," continuously emitting vague gasps, "to awaken a man's primal desires. This desire comes from the depths of the heart. It is enough to drive anyone into a frenzy. I have no feelings for you or your sister. Love is taken seriously and earnestly, even though it can be felt very clearly." That soft cotton, wiping repeatedly on her arm. "But it didn't stir my heart at all. Rather than saying it's comfortable, it's better to say it's too rigid. It actually hurts a bit. This delicate body is so tempting. Exquisitely seductive actions. There is no allure in the eyes of love. Am I really that unappealing?" Yugong's face was flushed with a charming glow. She pinched King Yuan's arm in frustration. "Ming just needs to use this trick. The male protagonists in the book all fall instantly." She tapped her perky bottom, urging her to leave the room. "What are you doing?" "Stop talking nonsense." "I still want to sleep." "What are you sleeping for?" "Late at night is the perfect time to study." Yugong ailey hummed a little tune as she took out her notebook. A picture of a good student. "I want to study a foreign language all night. It's a pity that my friend is lost, and you are indifferent. Get lost." Looking around to see no one, King Yuan directly hugged her tightly, trapped under the leaves. He walked silently towards her house. Fumbling through her skirt, she pulled out a key, opened the door and threw it directly inside. "So rude. How can you treat a girl like this?" Yu Gong Ai Lai wanted to cry but had no tears. A pitiful appearance. Elicits sympathy. Totally ineffective in front of the Sajma man. She accompanied you to buy some textbooks, even when her affection faded. Such trivial matters must be reported to Yu Gong Shajai. Almost lost my own innocence. Not sleeping late at night. What do you want to do? It is already 2 o'clock in the morning. It's only 2 o'clock. The nightlife is just beginning, and you're already going to sleep. Yugong Ailey sighed with her arms crossed over her chest. Suddenly, her eyes sparkled with life. Glanced at Yugong Shajai's room as I reached the door. The lights are off. Sister Shajai seems to have fallen asleep. What do you want to do? King Yuan was stunned. Sister. What do you think? Yugong Ai Lai smiled brightly at the romantic night. Though not biological sisters, but after more than 3 years together, she was well aware of Gong Shashai's daily routine. Since sister is asleep, then no one can stop her. King Yuan glanced at Yu Gong's room. I suspect that girl is lying, but she has no evidence. Madam has fallen asleep. Tonight, I can finally get a good night's sleep. Not right. There's a little fairy even more troublesome than the lady. The moment I looked at Yugong Ailey, the doubts buried in my heart intensified. I got goosebumps all over. Take a big step back. Tonight, we have to study all night. You must teach me well, Yugong gently said, words that seemed to seduce. From that delicate Rosie, spoken from a small mouth like vibrant peach blossoms. It only allows people to feel her pure beauty. Then let's study for a while. King Yuan naturally spoke these words. Surprisingly, it feels completely familiar. She was surprised by this harmony. The girl before me gradually overlapped with the image in my mind. Strange thoughts arise uncontrollably. Yugong Ai Lai smiled softly. Holding hands with destiny, they walked into the room. Two people sit on the edge of the bed. The atmosphere grew increasingly ambiguous. King Yuan glanced at her with peripheral vision, completely different from the enchanting beauty of Yugong Shajai, despite being completely unsexy. But at this age, it is the most elegant and pure time, the charm of a mixed setting that captivates one's gaze. Moonlight spills through the window onto me, like a fallen fairy, perceiving the intense gaze of fate. Yugong Eilwa smiled and leaned closer, called out shyly, "Teacher, the moonlight is truly beautiful tonight, the most suitable for learning. But why do you keep staring at me? Fate waves goodbye. I'll just take a look. No other meaning. Hurry up and study. I just don't want to do anything else. Don't want to." Yugong Ailey showed a disappointed expression. "Get down from the relationship. Just lie on the bed and recite." King Yuan let out a sigh of relief. A sudden pain in the abdomen. This girl is also a little devil. This is exactly the same as Yugong Cha Jai. Are they really not biological sisters? Seeing Yugong Ailey focused on her studies. The feeling of fate always seems inexplicably familiar. There were similar scenes in my childhood. That was when I just started elementary school. A stranger woman came to the house. We shared a wonderful time living together. Now I have no news. Long forgotten. Don't always look at me with that kind of gaze. I can be shy too. Alai's cheeks flushed red. With those smooth little feet, gently kicked the bond. I truly didn't mean it that way. You won't treat me like Shajai Jai. Then quietly whisper. Yugong Ailey pouted her lips, feeling a bit gloomy. I can't believe I misjudged it again. It's impossible for me to see you as Shajai. King Yuan glanced at her chest. Maintain a persistent smile. The faces of Yugong Ailey and Yugong Shajai. Incredible similarity, but the figure is quite lacking. I still have room for growth, all right. And moreover, my sister used to be an airport too. Shajai is probably older than you, even in elementary school. High school, huh? Moreover, it is also the final year of high school. Yu Gong was infuriated with Ai Lai, then took out a photo from the phone, handed over the fate. She curiously held her phone up. I only saw Yu Gong Shajai in the photo, and the one in front of me looks just like Ai Lai. Slender build, like a washboard. Not right. This woman, I feel like I've seen you before. 4 years ago. Love's Journey Home. I encountered a beautiful girl. At that time, she was wearing a high school uniform, all dirty and grimy, penniless. King Yuan felt sorry for her. Then bring it home. The mistress originally intended to report it to the police. At her strong request, and at the girl's earnest request, ultimately it quietly stayed behind. From then on, the two were inseparable. The first impression of King Yuan on her